This is Straight Good Just Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
Here we go.
I'm Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
I hope Savior of basketball has won.
Well, the Dorcher Chamber has been going pretty well.
I'm Aaron Wiggins, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Mark Dagnall, and I'm down to dunk.
He just does a big smile and
I feel blessed by God to be here down to dunk, be here with you.
I'm Alex Caruso, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
Oh, jeez. Are you going to sing it good enough for me to guess it, or?
Panhandle. Jeez. I'm tweaking.
Name 2 famous Oklahomans.
Myself and Jalen Williams.
Is that a crazy answer?
All my friends call me Bob.
Where's Rachel? Unique story. You lived a whole life.
Plain.
This is Kason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
True blood Oklahoma.
That's right.
Pretty exciting, if you ask me.
This is JDub, world champion JDub, and I'm down to dunk. And eat burgers.
Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht, part of the Athletic Podcast Network. Before I get to my good friend, Michele Berra, I want to tell you about 2 other friends of mine, Aaron and Drew Reese of Shelter Insurance. Drew, a call or text, 405-478-7714, or Aaron, 405-773-5500 today. You know, maybe you're excited that JDub is back, and maybe you would want to share it with the person that provides your car insurance. You could do that. You could do it with Aaron and Drew Reese today. They're great guys. They're trustworthy, and they provide insurance from an amazing insurance company and Shelter Insurance. So give them a call or text today and support the people that support Down to Dunk. With me on a Monday afternoon is my good friend Michele Berra. Michele, what's up?
It's good to be back on our normal, I would say most frequent time to record a podcast. And I have a very, very non-basketball question to ask you. You have kids that are older than mine.
Yeah,
right?
I do. Mm-hmm.
How frustrated you are that there is no possible way for you to win a video game battle/race/whatever. Because I'm starting to get at that point, and it's not fun. Sorry. This is just
they've passed me in a lot of the newer games. I can still destroy them in Mario Kart. I can still destroy them in
what is your combo in Mario Kart? I have the deluxe version. I can only seldom win.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Diego is very good.
I can beat them with almost anybody.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at Mario Kart. But they can beat me in almost everything else. I used to be able to kill them in 2K, but I don't play it enough. They play it all the time. They can all kill me now. Fortnite, I'm just toast. These
are grown-ups games. I just just playing Mario Kart, and Diego is almost kicking my butt every single time. But anyhow, good, nice.
A lot of news in Thunder World today. This is an episode where we don't have to make up anything at all to talk about. First, and probably the biggest bit of news, is that Jalen Williams is back from his hamstring strain. About 3 weeks took him to get back. I'm a little surprised it didn't take him longer. I have no information about the severity of the strain. Obviously, it was not that severe. The Thunder, there would really be, unless he is very, very ready, there's no reason to bring him back. So he's got to be extremely ready to go, which is good to hear that it wasn't something super bad. But yeah, he'll be back tonight against the Los Angeles Lakers. They need more shot creation. I think that was abundantly clear, although they all beat the Rockets, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But just your reaction to Jalen Williams returning to the lineup.
That is great. I think that we had the Shea version of the team with AJ Mitchell, the part of the season where they were both available, and now we have a little bit for JDub to be the man. Yeah. I think that the more opportunity he gets as the ball handler, especially with Chet and Hartenstein. Like they didn't skip a beat in terms of chemistry together. Even against Houston, where I think that the shot creation was lacking, I think that they were very good. They were very good against Orlando. So I really think that having JDub there and starting to gel that second unit, which was the second unit when Shea and Mitchell were playing, I think that it's a good thing. And I mean, having that as a established 5-man unit that can really be a change of pace, or at least supporting the pace that the other unit is playing at, it's very important. And I mean, I just like to watch JDub playing. So it's good to have him back, even for defensive purposes, because I think that in some of the games, not that OKC did a poor job on Kevin Durant, for example, but having to play small guys against Kevin Durant allows you, force you to be in a certain mold in terms of defense. You need to be very aggressive. You need to double sometimes and blah, blah. Having JDub as, hey, just play 5 minutes one-on-one. That is very important.
Yeah. I think that it takes a ton of pressure off of them in a lot of ways. And just to also give them reps without Shea in the lineup at all, I think is good. It can be a blessing in disguise for them to figure out some things that really work without Shea there. Because truth be told, the thing that has worked the best for the Thunder, and it's because he's the MVP of the NBA, is with him.
It's AJ Mitchell. Sorry.
AJ as well. But if they can find some stuff that works, without Shea and just get this, however many games it is, it may not even be enough for it to like truly matter, but just to get more of a sample size without Shea in the lineup, I think could be helpful for them. And so I do think that, you get to see what chemistry McCain and JDub can have on the court too. I think off the court, it's going to be really fun. Like the vibes are going to be just out of control good. And then just to have those minutes there, I mean, McCain is obviously a really good guard-to-guard screener. And so to see that take place too with Dub would be really fun. And so I'm excited to see this team play tonight. The Lakers will be without Luka, I believe, which is a shame because it's always fun watching Luka play against this Thunder team. But yeah, should be a good test for them. They have Phoenix tomorrow night, second night of a back-to-back, which will be a tough one just because Phoenix is just generally pretty tough. And then they finish out this week before the All-Star break against the Bucks. So in my mind, if you can get 2 of those, 2 of the 3, then you're in pretty good shape heading into the All-Star break. So yeah, it's very exciting to get Dub back. Another bit of news: it has been reported that Nikola Topic is going to play for the Blue tonight in OKC. It's not in like the official transaction log of the NBA, but I do believe that is going to happen tonight. So that's exciting to get him back on the court after his recovery from his testicular cancer. We're really grateful that he is, feeling better and ready to play basketball again. It's just, it's been a really hard road for this guy as he, is just trying to get his professional career off the ground here in the U.S. It's just been like one thing after another. So it's just good that he's actually feeling well enough to go out and compete.
Yeah, it's been 4.5 months, 5. That is that is good.
He played in that one preseason game, and then that's all we got. We got to see him in Summer League. We got to see him play in that one preseason game, which he was pretty good in that game. Yeah. And so, now he gets to kind of slow play it a little bit by playing in the G League. I think that's good. I think it's exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. Even if OKC is loading up on guards, and even if AJ Mitchell has been playing like a superstar when healthy, I think that having one more option at that role is always beneficial. Because it's tricky maybe to integrate every single one of these players in a regular rotation, but as we can see, rest patterns, injury, whatever. Imagine if you have Topic now that Shea goes out and you don't have Mitchell and you have Dub maybe on a minute restriction. We don't know. Probably no, because this is something that OKC doesn't do very often, to bring a guy back and having him on a very low minute restriction. It was for Hartenstein.
I'm going to say Hart's on one, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not usual, but it can be. So imagine having him playing all these reps. This is why, I mean, you never have enough guards. And this is why, going back a little bit on the news, I was shocked, completely shocked that Philly decided after 1 year of injury and incredible production to just trade McCain for that package, which to me is not really a great one. It's like for the receiver, maybe saying, yeah, we got a first and however many seconds. But for OKC is really, hey, we either trade up or we get a bite at 2.5 years of McCain. I mean, to me, it's really a no-brainer. If he's and I listened to the Dream Team, to the other podcast of Down to Dunk. I think that everybody has this opinion. Like, even if it doesn't work, is a bet that you should try and make. I mean, even in the first few minutes that we saw him playing, this is exactly what you need. I mean, another guy that can take a dribble, hit a mid-range jumper, hit a three, take a three with very limited time and space. I mean, these players, unless they are like complete non-factor defensively, and even then, probably in the regular season, you'd have use for those. Maybe he's not a playoff player. So what? So many 26, 28, 29 picking the draft are non-NBA players. So, yeah. I mean, the cost of this move is very minimal. And I don't think that with the amount of possible turnover that you have next season, that this will be a pick, that a player that is behind a lot of players in the rotation. I think that there is a decent chance then when it's all said and done, he will be part of that 10th, 11-man rotation next year, which, again, I think it's a very wise use of money and draft capital from Presti.
Yeah. I mean, it was jarring, and you could probably see it on my face whenever Alex and I recorded when I was at the airport. That he's on this team. It was just bizarre. I got to sit courtside for the game and he was just right in front of me, taking off his warm-ups, getting into the game, and it's just like, Jared McCain is on the Thunder.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I really liked him at the draft. I thought that it would have been a good pick for them. They obviously had similar feelings about McCain at the draft. And so just the fact that they were able to get him, usually you can't get guys in their second year. Really tough to acquire those guys that early in their careers. And it's really unusual for a GM to eject from that. I would guess that Morey thought that he had a deal lined up that ended up going sour. Because otherwise, like, why would you do this? Like, why would you trade McCain? Wouldn't McCain also be valuable in a transaction like that? I just don't know. I mean, perhaps it had something to do with the amount of money that was going out in the particular deal, but it's just very, very strange to me that he would trade him that early. And it should send all sorts of alarm bells off in the heads of everybody in that front office that it's Sam Presti on the other end of the call, that is wanting this player and that is willing to give up this kind of capital for him. That would give me all sorts of alarm bells. But yeah, for this season, he is taking the spot of Ousmane Dieng, and that's pretty good.
That seems unfair.
Yeah, and it's funny because you look toward the summer and thinking about this deal, you just wonder what it means for the rest of the roster, because now there's not really a roster spot. Before, like, if you filled it with Brandon Carlson or somebody, like, you easily waive that player, or you just give him essentially like a fake second year on his deal so that you have the roster spot to roster whoever it is that you select in the draft. And it's certainly possible that they walk away with 2 guys from this draft. And now we're talking about, okay, well, whose spots are they taking? I think that is going to be a really interesting conversation that we don't necessarily have to have today, but leading up to the off season.
But we could.
Leading up to the offseason, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot to discuss, and the Thunder will look different going into next season. They will be a little younger, at least with the role players around them, because you're going to get Topic is going to be part of the rotation. I think AJ is obviously going to be part of the rotation. You're going to have McCain as part of the rotation. I think Sorber will come in, and they got to figure out what he is, and then whatever happens with these draft picks, which certainly got more interesting on trade deadline day. It's going to be fascinating to see where this goes. Because you look at, the Clippers. The Clippers have won 2 in a row. Still, I do expect there to be a drop off that happens for them at some point, where like they could easily lose in the play-in, and then the Thunder get the 12th pick or whatever, or it could potentially be as high as the 10th pick. And then this whole Utah tank race is going to be fascinating to see where this all lands. Right now they're in 6th in the reverse standings, with other teams trying to catch them. They've got a pretty sizable lead though on Dallas, Memphis, Milwaukee. So it's just going to be fascinating to see where all this goes from here. The Thunder do have Philly's pick as well. That currently is at 18. So, there's just a lot of Thunder content, but like get to see JDub, get to see at least something of Topic, I think will be really fun. And then let's see what else. Oh, the Shooting Stars roster was announced. I talked a little bit about this on Saturday, but Chet is going to be with Rip Hamilton and with Scotty Barnes for the Shooting Stars competition. And, I wanted to get an expert's take on it. So I asked Mark Daignault in the press conference before the game the other day against Houston. I was like, do you have any advice for Chet Holmgren, who is in the Shooting Stars competition? And he said, this is a genuine response. What is the Shooting Stars competition? And then I start to just fumble over my words.
On brand.
Oh, it's so funny.
It's just perfect.
I knew that he would probably not care about this, which is why I wanted to ask him about it. I started to explain what the Shooting Stars competition was, and I'm sure I sounded like a moron trying to explain it. But then he interrupts me and he's like, Andrew, it's called the All-Star Break for a reason. And so my final follow-up question was, so do you plan to watch the Shooting Stars competition? And he's like, no, not watching the Shooting Stars competition. Everyone just laughed. It's so funny. Yeah. But I'm excited for it. I actually happen to really enjoy the Shooting Stars competition. It's always been one of my favorite things for All-Star Weekend, and to see Chet in that will be a lot of fun for Thunder fans, just to see, especially now that like it's kind of a bummer that you don't get Shea in the All-Star game. You will have Chet there, but it's just kind of a bummer that you don't get to see him play. But just getting a little bit more there for Thunder fans is fun.
I just want to give a shout out to Matt Noonan in the chat that points out, why is Joe not on the 3-point contest? And you have like many reasons why. Bobby Portis should not be one of them. The Milwaukee Bucks are not good. OKC is very good, and Joe is just fabulous in terms of difficulty, range, and blah, blah, blah. Why not?
Yeah,
why not Joe?
Yeah, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
The fact that Damian Lillard is in it as well is just very strange. So what is happening? I don't understand the selections that they made. The other guys are fine, but I agree, like Portis and Lillard are just strange.
Yeah.
It's like straight up weird. So the Thunder played Houston on Saturday afternoon. Really fun basketball game. Like, I know
it was.
Thunder are losing that game, but there's, I would say, mostly extremely positive things to take away as a Thunder fan from that game. Based on
McCain being one of them.
Yeah, I mean, we can start there. What was your thoughts on his Thunder debut?
I think he was very hesitant for the first 2.5 minutes. The second half went so much better. It was more free-flowing, being already in the right spot. I mean, you mentioned it before we start recording, but the guard-to-guard screen is something that is going to be very important. And just the range and the quickness of the three-point shot. Again, he's a guy that can really benefit, I think, to play with Shea. But even without him, like, to have gunners all over the place. I mean, the unit with him, Joe, Kaysen, Hart, I would say, and I don't remember who closed that lineup, was just fantastic. It was just like playing very well against the Rockets. And this is why I think OKC is doubling down on players that can be maybe a net zero defensively, or slightly positive, or just slightly negative, but that can be insanely good floor spacer. I think that OKC has a culture to like improve the defensive acumen of their players. And so, like, having shooters all around is going to be very important going forward. And it seems to be something that OKC values more and more as of the past 3-4 years. And McCain is just another guy that can really do a lot. He's not Kaysen Wallace defensively, but if he's just serviceable, then it's okay. Playoffs is another thing, but you need to win games in the regular season, and McCain surely can help on that end.
Yeah, the lineup with Kaysen Wallace, Isaiah Joe, McCain, Chet, and iHeart was a plus 17.
Yeah.
So they played 10 minutes together plus 17. So, like, that's extremely encouraging. Extremely encouraging. Some of that is the Houston offense being just a complete joke. And then some of it is it's not hard to envision, especially with the way that Kaysen Wallace is playing right now. Like, that being a successful lineup, you got these two shooters that are great at relocating, like, just awesome. You have a big in Hartenstein who is, like, basically making everything work around it. You have gravity with Chet. Like, you kind of have a little bit of everything with that unit. And man, it was really, really fun to watch. It was super fun to watch that particular unit play. One, it's just like fun to watch a new guy in your system and just see how it goes. They haven't had time to really do much with McCain other than just, like, I asked Mark about it pregame too. Just like they don't discuss a lot of, like, the nitty gritty with them when they first get here. It's more discussing just, like, how you're supposed to fit in with the group and what does it mean to be a Thunder player? What does it mean to attack the program? All these, like, different Thundery things. Like, how do you do that? And so they spend a lot of time on that stuff. And so I asked him just about the guard-to-guard screening and how you're going to get him, acclimated to the team. And if you guys have discussed that. And he's like, we've discussed that not at all yet. But it is just something that's a naturally part of his game is the guard-to-guard screening, which is, it's just exciting to just have another guy out there that is just a great shooter. You need those kind of guys around Shea, around Dub, around Chet, and just to have somebody else that can space the floor like that, like Joe, is pretty incredible. And to have him at the cost that you do for the next few years is going to be so helpful to the team. And, like, who knows what his ceiling could be? Like, he could be one of the best 6 players on the team. Like, that's not a crazy thought.
Are you sure, though, that spending the 2.7% of the cap on McCain is a wise use of money?
It's crazy, man. It's so
2.7 in 2026, 2027.
Yeah, and it'd be troubling to me as a Sixers fan because the end of the first round and into the second round, and this will be a mid to late first round pick for the Sixers from the Rockets, and it's like, man, with the way that everything is going with NIL in college, there's going to be a lot of guys that go back. If they're not like guaranteed to be there, they're going to go back. And there's going to be guys that would go late first that think that, one, I can just go back and make a ton of money, and I think I can help my draft positioning. Like, you may miss out on a lot of the guys that you like because they're all going back to school. The end of the first round and the beginning of the second are going to be very, very fascinating. Yeah. From Stack 405 in the chat, thoughts on Morey's comments on selling high. I think if I'm you guys listening and you have only read the quote, I go watch the whole press conference because I do think like he was asked about selling low. He thinks that he is very defensive. He just came across extremely defensive the whole time. I think that the Philly media had him on his heels quite a bit in this one. And I think really kind of the point is, from Morey's perspective, that a first, like a late first and 3 seconds, is probably the asking price of like the fifth starter on a team, is like what his thought is on that. Not necessarily that, and in his mind, McCain was not going to start for this particular Sixers team. And so I think the logic is faulty. I think it's ridiculous for the most part. I'm really glad he did it. I'm glad he thinks these things. I'm glad that he wanted to quote unquote sell high on McCain. I'm glad that he thinks this way, or else he would not be on the Thunder right now. So is odd. I think that he just overshared, in my opinion. I think those are conversations that GMs have like on the side, that they have on the phone with people. But it's not typically a press conference setting that people say those things. So it was very odd to tune in and listen to that presser.
Yeah, let's elaborate a little bit on that, because not to either dog or be in agreement with Morey, but I think it's interesting, the concept of, okay, I feel, or I state that the value for a guy that is the fifth talent on your roster, fifth best talent on your roster, is a pick and 3 seconds. The first one pick and 3 seconds. Would you? Well, no, this is not the right. Michele, you don't have to say this, otherwise you will go into a Dort. You will trade Dort for 1 and 3 seconds. Probably the answer is yes, but the point is, in general, I feel like if you take the fifth best player on a team, that package, maybe not the exact one, maybe with a better pick, it's probably fair. We can try to apply it to many teams, and probably the answer will generally be yes or close, especially if you have a veteran on a certain kind of contract. With McCain, though, it's not really a good proposition, because he's not now on I would say on a trajectory or on a level now to be the fifth best player on your team now. But you have him for a second contract if you want, and if he's not like shooting for the moon in terms of I would say production, if it's not like skyrocketing in terms of production, then probably you can get him for fairly cheap on a second deal, and then maybe he can be your fifth best player. If you trade him now, you are probably banking on the fact that he will never be a good player, a good fifth player, nor that you can get him on a reasonable contract later, which I think that for McCain, this evaluation can be wrong. I'm not saying that McCain will be the 5th best player on the Thunder in 5 years. But I think that kind of player probably has value because you can then sign him to a contract that allows him to be a rotation player for a salary that is below the marginal value. Very long and complex, I would say, monologue for me. But I mean, the key point is you don't know if he's ever going to be that kind of talent. And B, if he's not, then you can have like a top 8 rotation player on a really reasonable contract that he is a thing that may be more valuable for you.
Yeah, and just adding shooting to this team, something that they desperately needed. And like you kind of look across the league of players that they could acquire, and most are pretty underwhelming. You can't go get a dynamic shooter that is not, I mean, he's not a terrible defender. He has limits because of his size and like arm length. He's going to have limitations, but he competes. Like he's not Luke Kennard, you know. He's a guy that like actually will compete on that end. And so, and he's young and he's on a rookie scale deal, and he has upside still. And if he is going to realize that upside, and Adam Aronson, who joined me on Saturday to break it down, you know, talked about how like his work ethic is very high. Like he's somebody that is going to get the best out of his game just because he cares and he has the work ethic. And so that fits the mold of so many Thunder players. I think he's going to like, get in the lab with Dub and Shea and AJ and those guys and even take it to another level. That's something that a lot of players have been able to do through the years. And it, like we remember stories about like Oladipo with Russell Westbrook, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, I thought I was working hard, but then I saw Russell Westbrook and it changed the way I approach things. I think that Shea is that level of worker. He's that level of disciplined. I think Chet is too. I think that Dub is as well. I think that the Thunder have done such a good job of finding those kind of guys that you lead by example. Like, let me show you how to get in the gym. Let me show you how to work. And I think it is a massive mistake for the 76ers and a huge deal for OKC. Because, I mean, just even think, I mean, they let go of Isaiah Joe years ago. Like, they just cut him and the Thunder got him. What he's been a huge part of what the Thunder do, especially in the regular season. And if McCain can be a guy that can take 10, I mean, he's a guy that can take 10 threes in a game. He does that. Like, he's a volume guy. And so we've been dying for more players like this. Like you and I specifically, like we talk about it all the time. Could we just get somebody to take this many threes? And the fact that now they're going to have the choice of 2 guys in the playoffs, because there's games certainly where Isaiah Joe didn't have it going, and there wasn't like another knockdown guy to go to on the roster. You can now go to McCain, and even in this lineup that we talked about that had Joe and McCain in it at the same time, just crushed. It's like, yeah, it's not rocket science out here, guys. Like better shooters provide better spacing, provide better everything for you. And so to get a quality shooter on a rookie scale deal is unthinkable. I just wouldn't even considered it. If somebody came like, you know, it was like, hey, the Thunder should trade for Jared McCain. I'm like, cool. Thunder should trade for, I mean, you could throw out anybody else that's on a rookie deal that you're just like, yeah, they're not trading that guy. That's kind of how I would have treated it. And, you know what?
I think that this may apply to OKC next season. I mean, I'm not positive that they will be able to keep all their players on rookie scale. They will have to do some. They may. They don't have to. They may. So I would not be extremely surprised if some of the players, maybe Topic, maybe Sorber, for I would say roster reshuffling, that they just are moved around. And I mean, the part of the reason why I think McCain was traded is because he was one of the only guys with value that they could have him go under the stacks. So that is another part of the equation. Philly wanted to go under the tax, and I mean, if you can do it by moving around pieces without taking back bad salary, that was probably another thing that, I mean, Morey failed to mention, but I think that was part of the deal. Now, I mean, it's very difficult to explain anyway, because, I mean, you probably can do other things, pay something and remove a player. But if you don't want to do that and you want to collect assets while you spare some money, then this is a way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be crushed if I were a Philly fan. You know.
Well, they have VJ.
They do. And they have Maxi. But and I know a lot of Philly fans are very upset, which they should be. Like they should be.
Yeah, and again, if you trade them, sorry, and then I'll stop interrupting. If you trade McCain because you already have Maxi and Edgecombe, you're doing something wrong. This is not the way to go.
Yeah, it's illogical. It's illogical. Well, he'll never be a starter, so he can't be on the team. Like what? Like you need players to come off the bench too.
Yeah.
That's just bizarre.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely bizarre. Okay, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the schedule and several other things that are just happening in Thunderworld. We'll be right back. And we're back. After that quick break, I want to tell you about my friends over at Ring Family Dentistry. Ring Family Dentistry takes a straightforward and honest approach to dental care. Doctors Phil and Brendan Ring believe in keeping what's healthy, fixing what's not, and only replacing what truly needs it. No pressure, no upselling, just clear explanations, thoughtful recommendations, and decisions that are always up to you. Ring Family Dentistry is a true family practice with a laid-back vibe, modern tech, and high-quality work, including same-day crowns, even for your front teeth. Plus implants, bridges, root canals, and clear aligner therapy, all offered in-house. Call to schedule your appointment at 405-621-1555 or make an appointment online at ringfamilydentistry.com. So Thunder are in LA tonight. I'm going to pull up the injury report. The Thunder is just getting shorter and shorter after it was ridiculously long against teams like the San Antonio Spurs, which that also kind of a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
Spurs game for much different reasons. It was just like they were so competitive and like really gave it all they had. It was fun watching Kenny hustle just to kind of get to be the focal point of the team for a little bit. But yeah, just one that we knew the Thunder would probably lose, but I did not expect it to be that competitive. It was kind of funny watching that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the injury report tonight in LA, late tip, y'all, 9 p.m. tip, Central Time. Shea's out still. AJ's out, both listed with abdominal strains. Then we have Thomas Sorber listed as right ACL surgical recovery, and then we have Topic still listed as out technically with surgical recovery, but I don't think that means that he's necessarily out tonight. I think that could change for the Blue. He's not going to play for the Thunder, certainly, but he could be out on G League assignment is what it could be changed to if he does indeed play for the Blue tonight. DeAndre Ayton is probable. He has right knee soreness. Luka Doncic is out with a left hamstring strain. So yeah, everybody else is good to go for the Lakers tonight. So, yeah, I'm intrigued. This Lakers team is not very good. And I am intrigued to see the Thunder play against them. The Thunder, who for a little bit had just like some like effort stuff that is not very typical of them. All of that seems to have gone away. Like the effort level is on full tilt, which is why they were close in these last two games that they really shouldn't have been in at all based on personnel only. But like the effort's there. So adding JDub back in, getting a lot of effort, getting to see McCain play again with this team will be super fun. And then just defensively, the Thunder have a lot to offer, while the Lakers have really struggled defensively this year. It's funny, they have point of attack defense issues all season. It's just like, it is one of the toughest positions for them to defend right now, just because of personnel. And then it's like, you know what? Let's get Luke Kennard in here. And it's just going to exacerbate that particular issue. Well, he helps with shooting. Clearly, he's a quality shooter, but like, I don't know that the Lakers are anything more than a first round and out team just based on their defensive personnel only.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much they can change that in terms of effort, in terms of playing better defense. Adding Kennard is not the answer. But, I mean, when you have a team that can play maybe not a series, but a couple of games on high three-point shooting volume, increasing variance is one way to at least making it a possibility. Without three-point variance, even with a decent defense, you're probably looking at a first and out kind of thing. Adding three-point shooting and adding three-point volume is one way to just give yourself a different chance. I mean, again, it's not bringing you a title probably, but it's going to make things less predictable and more open to runs. And when you have James and Doncic, you probably have already some stuff that other teams don't have, some possibilities that other teams don't have, and you may have like a great Luka series pair with the shooting. Again, you're not there with Denver, with OKC probably, but hey, other teams, if you get the right series, you can really benefit off of, again, three-point shooting volume, which Kennard addresses to some degree.
Yeah, he does. He does address that. I think it's so hard to function as a team without a high level of defense. Like, they're going to have to score in like the 130s, to win games, which they should be able to do, especially when they get Luka back. They should be able to do that, but it's going to have to be pretty outrageous. And it'll be really hard against a team like the Thunder for them to do that, because the Thunder are one of the best defensive teams ever. And so I'm intrigued by just the styles of these two teams tonight. I think that's pretty fascinating. Another bit of news that has hit the NBA today is expansion is expected to be voted on this summer. And I think the two cities that they're targeting are Seattle and Las Vegas. No surprise whatsoever, but expansion means expansion draft. Expansion means more money in the pockets of the NBA owners, which is good timing because the Thunder are about to get very, very expensive. And so to have expansion happening where you're going to get some cash flow into your team from that, the new building is going to help support the team. As this team gets more expensive, there are ways for them to maintain what they are. A lot of people are kind of expecting the Thunder to try to like cut costs in some ways, and they probably will. But also, Fred and I talked about this on Slam and Jam on Saturday, that like the Thunder acquiring the draft rights to a player kind of signals that they could potentially be ready to go into the second apron, because you can no longer trade cash if you're in the second apron. And in order to make trades or to like be included in a trade, you have to have touch points with other teams. And so like cash is often like just used to like, here's how we make the touch point between this team and this, if you're be like a third team facilitator. But now they could use the draft rights, so I do think that is just Presti continuing to kind of play chess, with the new CBA rules, and just to be, I don't think it guarantees anything, but I do think it just opens up options for them when and if they do enter the second apron, so they don't have to be, as restricted once they get there. So,
yeah, and again, I don't think that they have a blueprint fully written of what will happen next summer. I think that they have possibilities, and some of the scenarios that they are looking at probably have them going in the second apron, and therefore you need to be prepared for that. I think that this is the smart way to do it, and I think that there are reasons why you could go into the second apron for some reasons. Maybe you can extend Hartenstein, and you cannot extend Case and Wallace. So maybe it's okay to go into the second apron next year, but you will not be in the year after when probably Kaysen is away and Dort contract expires. But you keep Hartenstein because you can find like a good deal with him, maybe declining his salary or whatever. So there are scenarios in which maybe you are in the second apron in 2026, 2027, and not maybe in 2028. So I really think to be prepared for that, or assume that OKC will be cheap and it will not go and pay tax or whatever. It's just nonsense. They have all the options. They have draft picks. They are pushing draft picks in the future because of that, in order to be able not to be dependent on second apron restriction, to be flexible with the roster. So again, this is signals that OKC is at least putting herself or itself into a very nice positioning in terms of flexibility going forward.
Yeah. And yeah, like you're right. I mean, they're going to pay. And God, I still hear people say things like the Thunder have never paid the tax. Like that is just such garbage. It's insane. And I also hate that. And I have people in my own company that say things like, credit to the Rockets still back in the day for being the team that didn't chicken out and battle against the Warriors. Like the Thunder never get mentioned in that. And some of it could be that they didn't ever have the success that they would have hoped to have during that era. But like the Thunder were another team that, despite losing Kevin Durant, still like put themselves in the middle of that, paid out the nose for those teams. It didn't work, but they were also a team that like didn't run from the Warriors. So like it's crazy to me that the Thunder kind of get forgotten as a team that has paid a lot of money in to the luxury tax before. And you know, I think there's a pretty easy argument that you can make to the ownership group. It's like, we literally formed the best team in the world right here. And we are finding ways to get better on the margins through the draft, through acquisitions like Jared McCain. You know, we are being creative in our approach to keeping this roster together. Our ask is that you do what you can financially to keep the team together. Like, it's a very simple sell. And these are guys that are, you know, loyal and love the city of Oklahoma City and understand the impact that the team has made and everything. And so, like, you know, I expect them to pay. I think that's been a part of the plan all along. And I think that with expansion, with the new arena, with all of these other avenues of bringing in money, that they're going to pay it. And so, you know, credit to Clay Bennett. I mean, he's been one of the most instrumental people in the history of Oklahoma, you know, and with what he's done. But like, he's been a really good owner for this team. It's been one of the biggest competitive advantages that they've had, is that they have the leadership from Clay to Sam to Mark to Shea is elite. And probably, I don't know that there's a better 4 leaders for a franchise in the league right now. Like, I don't think it exists. Even like, you look at Jokic, like the team that Jokic plays on literally lost their head coach and GM last season. You know, it's just, that would just seem unfathomable here in Oklahoma City, that those things are. So yeah, it would be really, really interesting. All right. Anything else, Michele, before we get out of here?
No, I think that we have a nice back-to-back, which, again, with Dub playing, is very interesting. Can't wait.
Yeah, Phoenix. They have LA tonight, and then Phoenix on Wednesday night, and then the second night of a back-to-back against the Bucks on Thursday.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, back to back is the.
I think you thought that because I said that earlier, and I just said it wrong. So that's on me. That's on me. So
Yeah, but I could have just take a peek at the schedule. But anyhow, 3 games.
I could have 2. I totally screwed that up. Yeah. So yeah, tonight in LA, then they have a travel day, short travel from LA to Phoenix, and then luckily the second night of that back-to-back is against the hapless Bucks, who are just an abomination right now. So as long as the Thunder bring the same effort they've been bringing recently, it should be a pretty interesting and easy night. Cam Thomas signed with the Bucks, so we do get to see a lot of Cam Thomas on Thursday night.
A lot of shots. Hey, Cam can go into some games where he's just untouchable.
Yeah, he can go on a heater.
Yep.
There's no question. All right. Hope everybody's doing great. And we will talk to you guys again on Wednesday.
Until to die, until to die.